Good morning and welcome to Daily Game Design. It's been a lazy, rainy morning, um, and I'm okay with that. Made some fried rice. You know what? I've been watching really fun, like kind of in the background while I'm working. There's a really fun series from Musoro or something. I've watched a bunch of these. You'll see when YouTube loads. Also, because it's rainy, I'm very curious to see what stream stability is like. It looks like it's a little bit spotty. Okay, it's this Musora, Van Halen, but alt pop. So they pick pretty well known songs and then ask bands to cover them. Bands whose styles are like super different. So that's a really fun series, and I'll just have those kind of playing in the background. I don't want them to take over my feed, my YouTube feed, so it's a little tricky in that way. I've been watching a bunch of these as well, these writing videos, but in general, my main content is game reviews. It feels like I'm consuming still a lot of like game reviews and top tens and things like that. Um, I used to watch a lot more chess than I do now, but chess still shows up, and so I'll watch some things every now and then. I used to just tournaments going, and I would just kind of have those in the background with the commentary. It's that, and then these the drop day. A lot of shorts. I can't think of like, and that's a mini game. Who's that guy? I can't think of who that guy is. These I felt were pretty cool yesterday. I watched a couple of them. 4 artists draw characters using the same description. This was really cool. And I was watching one of these as I finished up some progress with Solar Smugglers yesterday. So I definitely don't have near the amount of time, or I should not dedicate nearly the amount of time to Solar Smugglers that I did yesterday and the day before. I'm gonna get to grading for sure. But I've been having a lot of fun with this design. And I started solo playtesting yesterday. You can see I've made some progress, and I ran into some problems. Of course, early on in a prototype, I suppose you would expect that, but I didn't really know where the problems would come from. But this was the general flow of like an auction round. So, or a round. I guess I just call it a round. So we'd flip a card, say it's just like this, and these are all gone, and right. So we flip a card, and then the auction starts with the person left of the person that started the last auction. Ooh, yeah, I think we are struggling a little bit. I don't know. It looks okay. It also might be we just have a lot open. I still haven't figured out the relationship of stream quality to like hardware usage. Just not sure. I know OBS just takes a ton of memory, and then so do these. The fact that I'm using these other things. These don't all need to be open for sure. So I'm gonna get rid of this. I need to remember to do the DTF transfers this week, this coming week. Okay, so here is a regular round. So the auction starts. Let's say this is the first player bidding. So they bid, and then they need to bid higher or pass. So they'll pass and then pass, and then whoever was the highest bidder will just do this thing. So they'll essentially take a turn. They're bidding for the benefits and also turn order and also an item. So it actually might be too much. It might be too much value for the winning bid. the same time, I mean, you need to be motivated to bid. So let's say it's at the very start of the game. Nobody has any items. Nobody's really seen anything. So let's say it's the yellow player that wins this bid. They have to use up to 2 movement. Where should they go? Just here and hope for the best that they can turn in this gun, or like when does everybody go? When does this gun become available? So, because what I was thinking was, well, if you move, and then everybody else takes their turn and you haven't got this item, well, that's pretty sad. I feel like you should get access to this item right away. You know? Because what if you move there, but you don't have this item, and it just happens to be a location that needs this item, and so you take your turn, but you don't have any items on you. You don't have any items at all at this point. What do? You use your movement, but for what benefit? Because the other rule up until this point that I was thinking was, you need to move into a space in order to... Yeah, if you moved into location with a contract this turn, you may deliver an item. In other words, I was thinking you shouldn't be able to just sit on a location and like deliver stuff. So anyway, there's going to be a lot of thematic and mechanical breakdown, I think, no matter what, because everything is so simple. However, at least for the flow of the game, I think I need to make some changes with how this how these cards go off. So the other thing is, what if I don't want to use my movement? Like I just don't have what I need or something like that. So what I'm kind of playing with is, you should just take items, like take 2 movement tokens, take a peak token and spend it whenever you want. And I don't know if this is a safe way of thinking, right? Hi, Francisco. Welcome. What are you working on today? I'm thinking through some order of operations. And I think part of it means changing the layout of all these cards. And using tokens rather than having these cards be the thing that you take and hold on to. So I'm going to experiment a little bit with a card right now. I think these just need to switch. So I think all this stuff just switches real quick. The reason for this is I'm thinking the turn order is going to be executed from top to bottom. And right now, okay, let's see your pitch. I followed you on Instagram. I followed you on Instagram. Looks great. A lot of great points you made on that thing you worked but definitely need better art. What's the sort of accent you have, or what would you expect? How would you expect me to hear your voice here? I followed you on Instagram. Looks great. A lot of great points you made on that thing you worked on, but definitely need better art. Is that sort of how you were hearing yourself? DM me for how we can partner together to make you way more successful than the big boys. That is really fun. I find that compelling because I think what you do there is you obviously strike up a relationship. Hey, I've connected with you. What I see looks great. And then, of course, you create a pain point that they didn't know they had. Definitely need better art. Oh, I never even thought about that. Right? And we can partner. I like that. I like the language of partnership. I think that's important. Yeah, Francisco, I think you got something going here. I think you should take the show on the road, as they say. Take that show on the road. Cali Orkin soda. definitely, definitely been there. It's a great place. See, this is the type of callback I've come to expect. This is the type of callback. You know what? I got owned. I got played. This was last night at the game store. Came in, sat down, was setting up Matt Kambick's game, License to Krill, and a couple friends came in, and for some reason, I got one hint, or maybe I invented it. No, they were kind of playing around, and they acted like they didn't know each other, and I totally bought it. I totally bought that they didn't know each other, and they'd been there. Like everybody had been coming for like a year, and I was like so shocked. How could you guys have never met? Of course they met. They were playing like this little Pokemon game. They've been playing it for like a long time together. And for some reason, and they strung me along as well for a little bit. Like they kind of let me believe it, and we never wrapped it up. We never debriefed and said, "Haha, Scott, that was so funny that you didn't realize we were messing with you." We just like everybody moved on. It was really sad. Dang, you guys, what the heck? Yeah, that was tough. So I'm kind of thinking to change. I don't know what the difference in layout would be, because they're just getting this item, but I need to show that they're getting this item. So that's why I'm thinking to just do something like this. Uh, nope. And I know I will change. So instead, what I'll do is just so I'm just trying to show that this player gets all this stuff. This is where having dexterous and like card layouts would be really helpful. Why is it that tall? What is going on there? Oh, yeah, see, it's one of those silly like letter things again. Like, why is the box for this letter so tall? I don't understand. That's your question from before. I released my first Doomlings video. Been working on Doburn's dungeon. Gotten too easy, but I think I'm getting back to the right difficulty. The last game I was close to dying so many times and ultimately died at the end. Nice. Good. So what do you mean your first Doomlings video? It's just that you received your Doomlings and you did something with it? Did you play it? Did you unbox or what? Okay, yes, this is going to be very tedious to do this. But it's how many cards? It's not a crazy number of cards, actually. Nice, yeah, an unboxing, cool. I need to post for our Stonemeyer games. I still need to post I videoed the unboxing. I just need to post it. Cool, good. It's so cool, like to enjoy the generosity of interesting people and companies. Oh, you know what? Francisco? Oh no, I just had an idea. Oh no. Oh no. Thank you for playing along. What's up? um, um, what if the lowest bidder takes their turn first? Oh no. I wish it had to do with missiles. I think that would be thrilling. I think your spelling of missiles has been different every single time you've typed it. I think it's been different every time, or almost every time. No, it's definitely different from yesterday, between yesterday and today. Which is fine. I find you adventurous in that way, and I think that's right. I think it's best to be. I think it's best to be experimental with spelling. I think there's no reason it's so standardized, although it's helpful. Um, right, right. There's only one way. There can only be one winner. I'm extremely nervous about this idea all of a sudden because I think it makes things crazy. Yeah, right. So they could like jump in and like scoop stuff. Yeah, like they so what I'm thinking is that there's the auction and so there's an auction phase and that essentially creates the turn order. What I don't know here is um what I don't know is what happens if somebody doesn't bid. Cuz it was kind of easier to explain um it was kind of easier to explain okay, the winner goes first, second place, second, third place, third, and then whoever didn't bid just goes after that. Because they didn't place because they didn't bid anything. But once everybody who won something goes, then you get to go. So we could still But can you imagine going bidding lowest because you want to jump in and scoop like an item from somebody? I think that's an interesting problem. Like then you don't know what they're really up to. Do they not are they running out of cubes? Do they just want to go earlier in the turn order? Are we like suppressing the economy by doing that or like the flow of cubes by doing that because people are going to want to bid lower in order to go earlier, but they're also not going to want you just to they're not going to want to let you just have a whole lot of stuff. I think this is worth experimenting with. As long as you can't win that way. Let's see. So, what are some knock-on effects here? So, I think there it's possible that cubes would get spent at a lower rate because people will be motivated to go first, especially later on in the game. Oh, that's kind of cool. So, you're really more interested in getting a lot of stuff, like getting a lot of items, getting resources, getting discs. But later on, you might be more motivated to take turns earlier to like deliver stuff. So that could be kind of interesting. Um, hmm. Also, also now this means that there need to be four options on the card. Right? Wait, because now let's say everybody bids. If all four people bid and the lowest bidder goes first, they need to be able to do that thing. Um, because right now there are actually four things on this. Well, not necessarily. Let's see. Isn't the thing they do just moving first? I don't think so. Well, let's say in the case of this card, let's say just imagine we resolve it as I was thinking yesterday. So this player gets this stuff and this item. What I was realizing is they should get this item as they get their stuff. Right now, it's not shown that way in the card. That's why I was kind of like realizing I need to move some stuff around. It's just because it's an order of operations thing. So they win the bid. They get these actions that they can use. It looks like my stream is kind of dropping. So they get this stuff that they can use. And then they get their stuff, and then they take their turns in this same order. So the highest bidder goes first, second highest bidder goes second, etc. So they could, in my view, they could just use these actions however they want. So they could peek once, move once, peek a second time, move a second time. I think that would be totally fine. Like they can spend these actions however they want. And it's just important that they have the item before they spend those actions so that as spending actions they can use their item. So that's what I was thinking through just now. However, I was also thinking early on in the game, when you don't have items, it's useless to move. There's no reason to move. Because you're going somewhere and you're going there without knowing anything about it and also without having anything in your possession in order to like fulfill any kind of contract. So it felt like empty. Why would I want to earn movement at the very start of the game? So now that spun off into thinking about actually putting tokens in the game so that when they win something from an auction, they just take that token, and when it gets to their turn during the exploration or resolution phase, whatever I end up calling it, they can just spend those tokens and do the things related to those tokens. So they could actually just like earn a movement and spend it like three exploration phases later. That's what I was just thinking. Something changes quite a bit if what's up, Seth? Welcome. I see you pop up on Twitch. I haven't jumped in to see how you what kind of updates you've made. Have you made good progress? Okay, so now what I'm thinking, like this was the flash of the idea. I want to make a version of the card where the lowest bidder goes first. Same as it. I don't believe that. I don't believe that for 1 second. Okay, so I'm gonna group this stuff and around. So actually, this is gonna go up here. This is gonna go down here. Oh, nope. This is gonna come down. These are gonna swap. Look at how tedious this would be if I actually do this. This is definitely main game is ready for an alpha. Need to make some more sprites. Probably will work on that today. Nice. Need to build 1 or 2 more peripheral pages and then test everything. Okay. If you think I'm if I could be useful in the testing process, please let me know. Okay, so here's what is happening. So I just realized. Oh wait, this should come down now. So what I'm thinking is that everybody gets. Why am I doing this? Okay. Uh, here's the order in which you get your stuff. So get your stuff from top to bottom and then resolve your turn from bottom to top. How about that? There's no need to do all this real crazy reconfiguration. The other thing is that I think everybody gets a water token. It's just that all the other players now this doesn't it doesn't mean this card layout is clear on that. I think it's certainly not. But everybody gets this plus this. So wherever you fall in the bid order, you get your row plus you get the object. Okay? And then from there, then you take your turn going from bottom to top. What happens to the game in that case? So first of all, I need to get out of here and make some tokens. I feel like there are a bunch of juicy tensions here. I think there's something. The game doesn't work yet, but I think it's heading toward. I think it's heading there. Hang on, somebody's messaging me about the retreat. I'm amazed that we are doing as well as we are. And I really think it's this different like connecting to the internet differently that's been helping a lot. Okay, so oh. This guy says he's in the retreat group on Facebook. Okay, so he's in the right place. And I know I'm gonna die soon. And Okay, so we are hitting a few connection snags, but we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. Okay, I need to remember where I have. I think it's here. So I'm gonna make another one of these. I really wonder when. I should say if, but I want to say when Canva is gonna change their tune and things are gonna like Square. Like, oh my goodness, I had an email ready to go on Tuesday. I went to go email everybody about the retreat, and then now they're charging $50 a month to be able to email anything. And we cannot afford $50 a month. Certainly not. So I just wonder when. So I have the education tier of Canva. So I think I have access to most of the premium stuff. If I did not, things would be very different. Like I wouldn't be getting nearly as much done. Seth, how do you design your how do you do the layouts of your sprites or any of the artwork? What do you build the artwork in? And Francisco, what about you? Do you have like a special like pixel art software? so so many experiments with the tile layouts. This is crazy. It's just kind of fun to go through this old stuff, right? And to kind of see how things have changed so much. Oh, maybe this is just not loading. Yeah, they're just not loading. Finally got to play nearly a full game of Beyond the Sun yesterday at Armchair, and I'm still excited about that game. I think it's actually pretty easy to teach because the way that it ramps up. But then it gets weird with like a bunch of new card effects and skills you can research and stuff. I think it's such a cool game. But it is ugly. It's ugly on the table. It kind of it looks overall it's better. Yeah, oh yeah. The whole connection looks like it's just red, which I mean on Facebook, so that just means it's like super in and out, very unstable. Yeah, bummer. I thought I had tokens in here some I do. Okay. Beyond the Sun got to play it last night. And And this is going to be Solar Smugglers tokens. And I feel like I'm going to break your heart here and stick with the missiles for now. You know what's actually interesting? It looks like it's also like hardware because um I feel like my laptop is also the danger zone. You're right. Yeah, like I don't think this is just an internet connection. I think a lot is going on here. Whew. I think I'm good with this. Can close this. Yeah. Well, anyway, let me just keep going here. So I'll make. Is there a reason to make something a certain color? Kind of looks like. Um, I could just make them blue, I guess, just to kind of be aligned with. What color blue is this? Oh, the wind is whipping up a little bit. So cobalt blue. I'll copy that. So I think I'm just gonna make single tokens, like not like a double move token. Just keep it simple with a single. And then so what happens is when they earn, when the player earns the I also don't understand this one. Have you seen this one before, Francisco? Because somebody else wanted like a reply in the chat too, and I don't really understand what that does. But somebody else said they're like hard of hearing or something, and they prefer like being typed to. I forget what that was about though. You can see in my very short time as a Twitch streamer, I've become somewhat suspicious. and cynical. Okay. What else do we need? Maybe those are the only actions, but oh, we also need the objects. Yeah, so we'll make those into tokens as well. But not tokens, probably not circular tokens like this. We'll make them something else. Yeah, more like this. And just kind of make them more like a tile. Yeah, that makes sense to me. And we'll make it the same drab gray, light gray. Okay. Still having connection issues? It looks like it. It looks like it's up and down. Tough. Okay, I dropped this guy in there. Could probably be slightly bigger. That's good. And then I need the water bottles and the batteries. Oh, I remember Seth, you were around when I was working on the cell sheet for the previous iteration of this, the one about like animals collecting food for the winter. This is the one I recently just rethemed completely. Um, like added, changed a whole bunch of like mechanical things. And I think the game is a lot more complete now, but anyway, so I'm just kind of in the process of trying some different stuff out. What are you doing here? Okay, so what I think happens now is you take whatever, a copy of whatever tokens you see on the card. So like everybody takes one of these, and then in bid order um you take the other tokens. So I can just kind of leave this like it was. I think I can just undo everything. Maybe version history then. 18 minutes ago. Is that old enough? I guess it could be. I think CC. I was asking about how you design your pixel art. But I'm not sure what you were responding to there. It's weird that. Wait, had I made those changes so soon? That's weird. And I saw Oh, I just go to the one I haven't messed with yet. Yeah, I think I'm gonna end. It feels like something is really struggling right now. I'm just gonna restore this because I'm pretty sure what I have actually works with the way I just thought through it just now. What I could probably do is add like an icon for all players. Yeah, this is kind of wild actually. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna end the stream here just so you're not all suffering with me. And then of course it's Friday, so I'll see you again on Sunday. And we'll see what sort of progress um got it. Yeah, I'm having some just weird connection stuff going on. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. Didn't get a whole lot done, but it was cool to think through some possibilities here. Yeah, I've got grading to do. I've got some other stuff to take care of. So anyway, have a great day. Be productive. See you soon. Bye bye for now.